start with something called privilege levels. Okay, so what are privilege levels? Before coming or before jumping onto the privilege levels, I would like to give you a basic information about something called AAA. Okay, so there is a very famous terminology in this network security domain that is AAA. So what does this AAA stands for? This A stands for authentication. The other A stands for the authorization, and the last A stands for the accounting. So basically what happens whenever you are trying to access any device, okay, as a network admin, or as a user, if you are trying to access any service, for example, web service or application service, or you are moving to internet. So whatever kind of internet access, appliance access, or service access you are going to use on your network, these are the three major aspects. Okay, and what they are exactly. For that, let me just draw a simple topology. Let me just take a router. With this router, let me have a switch, and then assuming these three are my PCs. So that's my router R1, that's my switch 1. These are my users, PC1, user 1, PC2, user 2, PC3, user 3. Okay. Okay, and there we have the ISP, the internet connection with my router. Okay, just a simple topology. Now what happens? Let's suppose that this user at PC3 is my admin in the network. Okay, and it wants to perform some configuration. Let's suppose related to the NAT protocol. Why do we use NAT? So that our private IP addresses can be converted to the public IP address, right? That's a very simple definition. So basically this administrator would like to configure NAT protocol on the router. Okay, so here your administrator would like to access what? Router. Fine. Now to access this router as a security engineer, what will be your steps, or you can say what will be your thinking over this, how you can secure this? Obviously, first of all, you would like any user or any administrator who is taking the access of my router should be authenticated with the user and the password, right? So basically you want only legitimate user should be able to get the access of my router, not everyone. These are my normal users. Okay, user 1, user 2, however, this is my admin. So basically you want the access of your router should always be taken by the admin, but not by the users, right? So what you can do, you can configure a telnet protocol on the router so that your administrator can take the remote access. Also, what you can do, you can configure some username and the password, and the username password which are allowed for the telnet protocol. Only those username will be able to take the access, right? So very first step is that your user should be authenticated, that only the legitimate user should be able to take the access, right? That's your first priority. Then what is your second priority? Your second priority becomes that whether that user is authorized or not to run that command on your router. See, just consider an example. Let's suppose I have one more admin, okay, PC4, that is also an admin, but let's suppose that this admin is having 10 years of experience, while this administrator at PC4 is having only 2 years of experience. Okay, So basically this administrator at PC4 is only for the purpose of monitoring. Basically it is going to check the logs. Okay, it is going to have a dashboard where it will keep on checking the logs, events, whatever happened. And the administrator at PC3, it is carrying a very rich experience. He is the one who will be responsible to configure the network devices. Okay, so let's suppose this administrator at PC3, let's call it admin1, and the administrator at PC4, let's call it admin2. Fine. Now basically you want that administrator at PC3, that is admin1, should be able to run all the commands. However, the user at PC4, that is administrator 2, should only able to run the show command. Okay, so now your first priority will be that only legitimate user will be able to get the access. So what you can do, you can create a username called admin1 and username called admin2. So only these two admin will be able to take the access, right? Now the second step will be what? That if admin1 has taken the access, he should be able to run all the commands, while admin2 should be able to run only the show commands. Okay, it should not be able to run any configuration. So that is what the second priority is, that we need to make sure the legitimate user which is accessing my device should have proper authorization. Not all the users will be given all the privileges. Some users will have full privilege, while some users will have restricted privilege. Okay, and the last part is what? Accounting. Accounting means that to keep the just to keep the information whatever the user is doing on your network device. For example, the administrator admin1 has run let's suppose 5 commands. So basically we should have something called our database where we can check whatever configurations have been performed by admin1 or whatever configurations have been performed by admin2. So basically the accounting part is something that we would like to keep a track, whatever configuration or whatever activity has been performed by the legitimate user. Okay, so this is what AAA is. Now coming back to the privilege levels. So privilege level is all about making sure that our legitimate user is taking the access, and the legitimate user should have authorization whether it can perform that event or whether it can run that command on the router or not. Is it clear? So basically privilege level is what we are focusing on, these two aspects, authentication and the authorization. First thing, that my only legitimate user should be able to get the access of my network devices. Second, the user which has taken the access, whether he is allowed to run that command or not. Okay, so with the privilege levels, we are going to focus on the authentication and the authorization part. I hope all of you are clear with this. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Mr. Imran, Athira, Ben, Mike, Tarun.
Counting part is just to review, right?
Yes, accounting is just to track whatever activities or whatever events has been done by the users, legitimate users.
Okay.
Okay. Any more queries, Mr. Imran? Mike?
I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So let's start with privilege levels. Okay. So basically, when I talk about Cisco routers and switches, we have total some privilege levels, and the privilege levels are from 0 to 15. Okay, so you can just say that if a user, let's suppose user is ABC and the other user is having the name DEF, and if the user ABC is carrying the privilege level 1, let's suppose that, and the user at privilege level this user is having the privilege level 5, that means this particular user is allowed to run more commands than this user ABC. More is the privilege level, more authority an user is having. Is it clear? So basically, more is the privilege level number, more authority a user have. Fine. Now, as I told you that Cisco routers and switches are having the privilege levels from 0 to 15. Now, from 0 to 15, these have been actually divided. Okay. So basically, I can say the privilege level have been divided in two categories. The first category is known as system defined privilege levels. Okay. And the second category is known as custom or you can say user defined privilege levels. Fine. So basically this privilege level 0, privilege level 1 and privilege level 15 is the system defined privilege level. Now what does it mean? It means when you are going to purchase a Cisco brand new router or any switch, by default they are having privilege level 0, privilege level 1 and privilege level 15 configured on them. Is it clear? However, from privilege level 2 to 14, these are custom privilege level or user privilege level. That means in these privilege level, you can make the changes accordingly. Okay, that means the Cisco has given us the a free end that if you want to create some custom privilege levels, then you can use the privilege level from 2 to 14. However, when I talk about privilege level 0, 1 and 15, as a user, you cannot make any changes in it. Okay, it is not possible. Whatever, let's suppose that if this user ABC, okay, it is having privilege level 1 and the user DEF is having privilege level 15. Now try to understand. Now when you purchase a Cisco router or switch, if Cisco has defined that the user at privilege 1 will be able to run only 2 commands, okay, and the user at privilege level 15 is able to run all commands, okay, this will be by default and you cannot change it. However, if you want to create some custom privilege levels, okay, then you can create privilege level from 2 to 14 and you can make the commands, you can assign the commands accordingly. Okay, any queries till this point? Okay, good. Next thing, when I talk about the privilege levels, okay, basically we are going to focus when we are going to take the remote access of the device, okay, because when you take the console access of the device, you are by default getting the privilege level 15. That means you are getting the full access, okay, because you are an administrator, you are taking the access of your router from the console port. So by default, you are going to get the privilege level of 15. However, when you are taking the remote access of your appliance, whether it's router or switch, for the remote access, you can create some users and you can assign the privilege level accordingly. Okay, so it's better to explain all these things with the lab, because this theoretical stuff is something which is not so much dependent. We have to purely focus on the lab for this privilege level. So let me just move to the VMware. Okay, the machine is on. Again, you do not need to worry that how I'm getting this IP address on my VMware. I will let you know. the configuration part, the installation part of the Eve software. Okay, hopefully in the tomorrow's class. So 150.1.7.128 is the IP address. More actions, start all nodes. So this will start all of my appliances in the topology. So by the time the routers are getting started, let me just define the IP addresses that I'm going to configure. Snipping tools. Okay, so that's going to be our topology. So I'm going to configure the IP address 20.1.1.4/24. Here I'll configure 20.1.1.3/24. Okay, here I'll configure 10.1.1.3/24 on this interface. And on the end machine, I'll configure 10.1.1.1/24. Fine. And I will enable the telnet protocol on router R3 to perform the practical of privilege levels. So move to R3. No. Enable. Let's quickly configure the host name. Host name will be R3. Move to global configuration mode. Host name R3. Then interface is 0/0. No shutdown. IP address will be 10.1.1.3. Subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0. That's it. Now move to Windows machine. So how do we configure it? Just double click here. Go to properties. And then it is already configured with 10.0.0.1. So let me configure it with 10.1.1.1. Subnet mask is same. Then 10.1.1.3. Done. Okay. Okay. So let us just check the connectivity from router R3. Do ping 10.1.1.1. Yes, we are able to ping. That means our Windows machine and the router R3 is able to communicate with each other. Fine. Now, so I'm just assuming that this user at this Windows machine is going to be my admin. Fine. And let's talk about I'm going to configure some I'm going to consider some different cases, okay, to perform the practical of privilege levels. So how we are going to conclude with the practical? Let's suppose I'm having a user, okay, the username is ABC, and for this user I'm not going to define any privilege level. Okay, I will not define any privilege level for this user. Then we will create some another user having the name DEF, and I will assign him the privilege level. Let's suppose that privilege level 2, okay, or let's say 1. Then we will create a user GHI having the privilege level 2. And finally, we will configure a user JKL having the privilege level 15. Then user with XYZ having privilege level 7. Okay. So first of all, let's come to this. We are going to perform the configuration of Telnet on router R3, and we will create a username ABC without any privilege level configuration. Let's see what happens. Okay. So move to R3. So how do we configure Telnet protocol? I hope everyone is clear now. So do show run pipe section line VTY. Already every command is running. So what I just need to do, line VTY 0 to 4, and then the password. I'll keep the password very simple. That is Cisco. That's it. However, it is not required because we are going to make the authentication with the username and the password. So I'm going to use the keyword login local. Do show run pipe section line VTY. Everything is fine. Now I will create a username ABC, and the password is CCI. Okay. So we have created a username called ABC with the password CCI, and for this user, I have not defined any privilege level. Okay. So let's see what happens if you will not assign a user with the privilege level. So move to your Windows machine, and on the Windows machine, let us try to take the access of router 10.1.1.3, take Telnet, and then open. So it is asking for the username. Username is ABC. Password is CCIE. Enter. And guys, you can see currently your router is in the your user in the enable mode of the router. Okay. Just wait. Whenever we take the console access or the remote access of our appliance, the first mode of your router or the switch is called user mode or the enable mode. Then the second mode is called privilege mode or the exec mode of your router or the switch. And then the third mode is what? The global configuration mode, right? So what happens when you have not configured any privilege level for your user and that user will try to take the remote access? This user is basically going to land in which mode of the router? Basically, this user will land in enable mode of your appliance. Is it clear? The user will land in the enable mode. Now, move to R3. Sorry, move to the appliance, the user. That's my user. If I run this command enable, enter, it says no password set because we have not set the enable password on the router. So let's set it enable password 123. Done. Now, if I show you the privilege level of your user right now, show privilege. See, your router says currently you are at the privilege level 1. Okay. So when you have taken the remote access of your appliance and the user is not configured with any privilege level, by default, it will land in the enable mode of the router and that user will have the privilege level 1. Fine. Now, since I want to make some configuration, so I will run enable command. Then it will ask me for the password. What is password? It is 123. then I am in the privilege mode of the router, right? Or you can say the exec mode. And here, if I run this command, show privilege, and it says, now your user have got privilege level 15. Is it clear? So once you configure enable password, the user will get privilege level 15, and privilege level 15 means the full access of your device. That means it can run any command. The user can run any command. Is it clear? So that's the by default thing which you have been doing from so long. If you are not configuring any privilege level on the router, so when you will take the telnet or the SSH access, your user will first of all land in the enable mode and he will get the privilege level 1. Okay, but if he will configure the enable password, if he has the enable password and he jumps into the privilege mode of the router or the switch, he will get the full access, that is privilege level 15. Guys, are you clear up to here? All of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Now, let me just do one thing. Let me just exit from here. Let me again take the access of the router, that is 10.1.1.3. We have to take the telnet and then open again. Now the username is ABC, password is CCIE, enter, and currently my router is in the enable mode. And if I run this command show privilege, it will show you that the privilege level is 1, right? And if I put the question mark, let me see what sort of commands I can run on my router. Okay, just hold on. Change settings, appearance, and then change. Let me just change the font of the, so that it will be convenient for all of us to see. And colors, attempt to use logical palettes, apply. I hope now the putty is you are able to see the putty screen now. Change settings, default settings, save, apply. Done. So if I put the question mark, so in the privilege level 1, you will be able to run all these commands. You will be able to run all these commands. Okay. However, at the privilege level, you will not be able to perform any kind of configuration on your router or the switch. I hope it's clear. But if I move to privilege level 15, how? Let me run this command enable. The password is what? 123, enter. Now the privilege level of the user is what? 15, and in the privilege level 15, the user can run any command, it can configure any protocol, it can run the interface command, but that means all the kind of configuration can be performed at the privilege level 15. Is it clear? Now, let's configure another user having the name DEF. Okay, and we will configure privilege level 1 for this user. So move to your router R3. What I need to do, just create a username having the name DEF and put question mark. See, you have the option here. You put the question mark, you have the option of defining the privilege level. So privilege level, privilege. I would like to define the privilege level from 0 to 15. Okay, so let me define the privilege level 1. And then I need to define the password for this user. Again, let me keep the password same for all the users, that is CCIE. Execute this command. That's it. That's it. Now move to your appliance again, and on your on your endpoint, again try to take the access with the username DEF, password CCIE. Now you are again in the enable mode. And let me check the privilege level. Show privilege level. The privilege level is 1. Okay. That means if you have configured a user with the privilege level 1, again, he will land in enable mode and the privilege level will be 1. Now let's suppose this, if this user want to perform some configuration, will he able to do this here on the enable mode? No, he will not be able to do anything until and unless the user does not move to global configuration mode. Now to move to the global configuration mode, he needs to write enable, then the password. Now the secret password which you have configured on your router is the key here. Okay, if you will not tell the secret password to the user, he will never be able to jump to the privilege mode of your router. And if your user show privilege, if I run this command here, now the user has got the privilege level 15. So the point is, if the user is not configured with any privilege level, or if the user is configured with the privilege level, the things remain same in both the cases. That means if the user is not assigned with the privilege level, by default, when the user will take the remote access, he will land in the enable mode of the router or the switch. Is it clear? And when he is in the enable mode, the privilege level is 1. But if the user knows the secret password, okay, so he will jump into the privilege mode, and if he jumps into the privilege mode, the user will get the complete access, that he will get the privilege level 15, and privilege level 15 means he will be able to run all the commands. Fine. Any queries till this point, please let me know. If there is any sort of confusion, please go ahead and have your queries. Imran ji, do you have any queries? Mr. Imran, Ms. Athira, Ben, Tarun?
Good. Thank you.
Okay. Now let's move to user GHI. Okay. Now let me create a user having the privilege level 2. Now, as I have already told you guys that privilege level 2 to 14 are what? These are custom privilege levels. That means by default, these privilege level exist on the router. Okay, these do exist, but by default, only show commands can be run. If a user has been assigned with the privilege level 2 by default, so he will be able to run only show commands, but except show commands, he will not be able to run any other command. Is it clear? So by default on your Cisco router, privilege level 1 to 15 does exist. Okay. For privilege level 1, there are some command assigns. For the privilege level 15, all the commands can be run, but from privilege level 2 to 14, they do exist. But if a user is assigned with the privilege level 2 to 14, by default, he will be able to run only show commands. He will not be able to perform any configuration. Let me show you. So for that, let us create a user GHI. Okay. And then what we need to do, user username. Let me just write it, username GHI, privilege level 2, password CCIE. Okay, that's it, as simple as that. Now let us take the remote access of our router R3 for the new user. So telnet 10.1.1.3 open. The username is what? GHI. The password is what? CCIE. Enter. And do you notice one thing? Your user is directly jumping into the privilege mode. It is not moving to the enabled mode now. The user is directly jumping to the privilege mode, or you can say the exec mode of your router or the switch. And if I run this command, show privilege, so show privilege, and you will see that the user is holding privilege level 2. So the difference here is, if you will assign the privilege level 2 to 15, okay, if you will assign a user with the privilege level 2 to 15, the user will directly land into the privilege mode, or you can say the exec mode of the router or the switch. Okay, and he will get the privilege level whatever you have assigned. So if you have assigned privilege level 2, he will get the privilege level 2 only. He will not get the privilege level 15. Make sure. Okay. Similarly, if I will assign user with the privilege level 7, that means the user will directly land in which mode? Into the exec mode of the router and the switch, and he will get the privilege level 7. Now, I have just told you that at privilege level 2 to 14, the user will only be able to run the show commands. And let me just prove this. See, there will be some other commands too, but however, majority of the commands will be the show commands. Okay, let me see. If I'm having privilege level 2, can I run the configure terminal command? Configure terminal. Can I run this? No. That means I have been restricted to run this command. I'm not allowed. Show run. Can I run this command? Show running. Even in fact, the show running command is not there. Let me just check. Show clock. Can I run this? Yes. Show IP interface brief. Let me check the interfaces of the router. Yes, I can run this command. Let me just check show IP route. Let me just check the routing table of my router. Can I run this? Yes. So however, if I put the question mark here, okay, cancel. So if I put the question mark, you can see there are a couple of commands are there, but however, all these commands does not have any such relation with the configuration of the router. You can see the show command is there, but can you see any configure terminal? Because any configuration, when it is related to router or switch, it is the commands are mostly runs in the global configuration mode, and you cannot see any configure terminal here. So if you cannot move to global configure terminal, that is in the global configuration mode, that means you cannot run any command. You cannot perform any sort of configuration. You can see. Okay. So point is, if the user is assigned with the privilege level 2, the user will direct, or you can say if the user is assigned from privilege level 2 to 15, if the user is assigned with the privilege level 2 to 15, the user will directly land into the privilege level, or you can say the exec mode of your router or the switch, and he will get the privilege level whatever you have assigned to that user. If you have assigned privilege level 2, he will get the privilege level 2. If you have assigned privilege level 7, then he will get the privilege level 7. And by default, from privilege level 2 to 14, you can run only show commands. You cannot run any configuration. Any doubt till this point, please let me know. Any queries? Tarun, Mr. Imran, Mike, Ben?
Good.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Now, we just have seen that my user GHI is only able to run the show commands. The user is not able to run the configure terminal command, right? Now, I would like to assign. Now, I would like to make some changes. As I told you that if the users are assigned with the privilege level 1 or 15, you cannot make any changes. Okay. However, if the user is assigned with the privilege level 2 to 14, you can make the changes. That means by default, the user will be able to run the show commands. But if you want the user at privilege level 2 should be able to run some other commands too, you can make the amendments. You can make the custom configuration. How? Let me show you. Okay. Let's suppose that we want user at privilege level 2 should be able to run configure terminal. Okay. Then the user should be able to run interface E0/0 command. And also user should be able to run router OSPF 100. Okay, let's suppose that I want my user at privilege level 2 should be able to run these 3 commands also along with the show commands. So what you can do, you just simply need to move to your router, and then what you can do, you can write the command privilege. Okay, then just wait, privilege, let me write the keyword exec and then level 2. I'll explain you the command configure terminal. Let me just copy this. Now, what is the purpose of, now what is the meaning of this command? Now, I have told my router that, see, privilege keyword means that I am performing the configuration related to the privilege levels. Okay. Now, what is this exec? Exec keyword means that I am allowing this command configure terminal to run where? At the exec mode. As you can see, this configure terminal command is run where? This command is run on the exec mode of the router or the switch, right? We need to run this command configure terminal here, right? On the router, we need to run this command here. So that's why I need to tell my router that I am performing a configuration related to the privilege level, and I need to run a command at the exec mode of the router, and the user which are assigned with the privilege level 2 should be able to run this command. I hope it is clear to all of you. I have told my router, if any user is configured with the privilege level 2, if any user is assigned with the privilege level 2, then at the exec mode of the router or the switch, the user is able to run this command. And you can see now I am able to run this command configure terminal, right? But previously when I tried to run this command show configure terminal, was I able to? No. But now I can run this command with the user GHI, right? Because I have allowed this user, because I have allowed that user having assigned with the privilege level 2 can run this command configure terminal. I hope it is clear to all of you. Everyone?
Yes, please for me.
Okay. Now, right now I'm in the global configuration mode, right? Let me just check which commands I will be able to run. Can you see any interface keyword here? Can you see any router keyword here? Can you see any P keyword here? Can you see? No. That means you cannot run any routing protocol. You cannot configure IP addresses on the interface. You cannot perform any kind of configuration. Why? Because by default, as I told you, that users at privilege level 2 to 14 will be able to run only show commands. If you want them to allow some other configurations too, then you have to make the custom changes. You have to allow them to run the other commands, but by default they will not. So I have allowed my user to run this command. Now I would like my user at privilege level 2 should be able to run this command. So what I need to do, just go to your router, and what I will do, privilege. Okay, now I would like my user to run this interface command where in the global configuration mode. So I will write configure, then level 2 interface E0/0. Okay, how many interfaces my router is having? You can see the topology. My router is having the 2 interfaces, right? But I want my user should be able to run only interface E0/0. Let me execute this command. Okay. Now move to your user. Let me put the question mark again. Can you see the keyword interface here now? But previously it didn't exist. Can you see the difference? That means the user at privilege level 2 is now being allowed to configure interface command. Is it clear? Here it is. So if I run this command, interface E0/0, will I be able to do that? Yes. But can I run the no shutdown command or the shutdown command? Let me just check. Shutdown. No. Why? Can you see any IP keyword here? Because if you need to configure IP address, you need to have this keyword IP, right? No, because that's a custom configuration. So now I will ask my user, I will allow that user privilege, and I will run this command at the interface level, right? I hope you understand the meaning of this. Right now we are in the interface mode, right? IF means you are in the interface configuration. Normal config means you are in the global configuration mode of the router. Since we would like to run this command at the interface level, so interface for the user at privilege level 2, he will be able to run the IP address command. And also the user should be able to run the shutdown command. Okay. And now go to your user, put question mark, and you can see the IP keyword is there. The shutdown keyword is there. Previously it was not, but now these 2 keywords have been added. Now that means now I can configure IP address here. Now I can run the no shutdown or the shutdown command here. I hope it is clear to all of you. Any queries till this point? Mike, do you have any query? Ben, Tarun, Athira, any queries? Guys, are you all there? I'm not getting any response from any of you.
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. Now, since I have allowed my user to run only interface E0/0 command, right? I have allowed my user at privilege level 2 to run only which command? Interface E0/0. So let me just check. Can I run the interface E0/ command? Interface E0/1? Yes, I am able to. Can I run interface E0/2? Yes, I am able to. Now, this is something which is contradicting, right, guys? This is a contradiction because I have told my router that the user at privilege level 2 should be allowed with the interface E0/0 command. But why my user here? Sorry. Let me just move to this endpoint and let me just check this interface E0/1. My user is able to run this command. My user is able to run this command too. So that means this is a contradiction. I have not allowed user to run interface E0/1 or E0/2, but still it is able to run. This is a contradiction, right, guys? Don't worry, I'll explain this. However, let me just show you one more thing. Can you run any routing protocol command here? Do you see any router keyword? No, that means you cannot run any routing protocol. So now I want my user at privilege level 2 should be able to run privilege configure at level 2, should be able to run router OSPF 100 command. Now move back to your endpoint, put question mark. Do you see the router keyword has been added? So if I use the right router OSPF 100, yes, I'm able to. But can I run router OSPF 101? Yes, I'm able to run that too. Can I run router EIGRP 100? No. Can I run router RIP? Yes. Now again, that's a contradiction. Since I have told my router that the user should be able to allow only run this command router OSPF 100, then why my user is able to run this command router OSPF 101? Why the user is able to run this command router RIP? That's a contradiction, right? Let me just put the question mark and show you. Router, put question mark. The option should be OSPF, but it is showing OSPF version 3. Even the BGP is there. Could you see this? Now this is some kind of contradiction which you should be aware of. Okay. And what problem is this? I would like to highlight a problem here. There is some problem with the privilege levels. So if you are thinking that, if you believe that this privilege level will be the solution in your network, the answer is no, because there are some problem with the privilege levels. And what are those problems? Let me tell you. Before concluding the problems with the privilege level, I would like to explain you one thing, that whenever you configure any command on the router, okay, basically any command on the router or the Cisco switch, it is basically made up of two things. The first one is the command, okay, simple command you can say, and the other part is you can call it syntax, or you can basically, it is known as argument. Okay, it is precisely known as argument. So whenever you run any command on the router, so it is made up of two things, command and the argument. Now what it is, when I run this command router OSPF 100, when I run this command router BGP 20, when I run this command router EIGRP, when I run this command interface E0/0, interface E0/1. Now this part, okay, this part of your command is actually known as the command, okay, that is known as the simple command. However, the other part of your command on the router and the switch, this is known as argument. This is known as argument. And the problem with the privilege level is that it only matches command part, but not argument. So that means if you have told your router that user at privilege level 2 should be able to run command, let's suppose interface E0/0, that means your router will check only interface keyword. However, it will not check the argument part. Is it clear to all of you? So if you have told your router to allow user to run OSPF 100, so here this is the argument part. So router will not check the argument, but it will only check the command part. So that is why here on the router you have allowed that your user should be able to run only with the OSPF 100, but still you are able to run BGP2, you are able to run IS, RIP, in fact the other process ID also. I hope everyone is clear. So this is the first problem associated with the privilege level, that when you configure privilege level on the routers or the switches, the routers and the switches, okay, they only match the command part, but they do not match the argument part of the command. Is it clear to all of you? And that's why this contradiction is being happening. All of you.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, fine. So I hope you are clear with the first problem that is associated with the privilege level. Now, okay, we would there is one more problem too, but we will discuss in the later part. Now let me do one thing. Here I have configured privilege level 2 and I wanted my router should be able to run with these three commands. Okay, now I would like to configure privilege level 7. Okay, I will create this user privilege level 7 on my router. Okay, and I would like my user should be able to run configure terminal and show IP route command, and he should be able to run okay, just hold on, let me just check, can I run this do show IP route command here? Do show IP route. No, I'm not able to run this command, right? Show IP route, can I run? Okay, here you can run, but not in the global configuration mode. Do show IP route, you cannot run this command here on the router. So basically I want my router should be able to run, my user should be able to run do show IP route command. And also user should be able to run the router OSPF 200. Okay, now try to understand, since I told you by default from privilege level 2 to 14 only show commands are allowed, that means your user should be able to run only show command. However, you have to perform some custom changes to allow your user to run configure terminal command, show IP route command, and router OSPF 200 command, just like you did it here. Is it clear? So let's do that. For that, let's move to the router R3. Let me create a username XYZ having the privilege level 7 and the password CCIE. Is it clear? So by default, this user should be allowed with the show commands only. He should not be able to run configure terminal. He should not be able to perform any interface configuration or any routing protocol configuration. Let's do that. Disable, exit. Let me take the remote access again. Telnet, open. Username is what? XYZ. Password is CCIE. You can see, as I told you, whenever user is configured with the privilege level 2 to 14, the user will directly land into the privilege mode, or you can say the exec mode. And you can see the user is getting the privilege level 7. Okay. Now, if I try to run this command, configure terminal, I am able to. Again, this is a contradiction. Let me just check if I am able to run interface command. Let me put question mark. The interface keyword is there. The router keyword is also there. That means I can run interface command with this user. I can run router OSPF 101. I can run router OSPF 200. I can run router BGP. Now this is something a problem because I have not allowed this user at privilege level 7 to configure all this command, but still we are able to run this command. Why it is being happening? Now this is second problem with the privilege level. Okay, so the second problem is, so that this was your first problem with the privilege level, and the second problem is inheritance. Whenever you configure privilege level on the router, they by default they follow something called inheritance rule. Now, what is inheritance rule? Inheritance rule says that if a user is assigned with the higher privilege level, then he will be able to run all the commands which have been assigned in the lower privilege levels. That means if the user is allowed with some commands at the privilege level 2, and you have created and you have assigned some, you have assigned a user with the privilege level 7, then by default, this user at privilege level 7 will be able to run all the commands which you have assigned at privilege level 2. That means you cannot differentiate, you cannot distinguish them. By default, the user at privilege level 7 shall be able to run the commands of privilege level 2, privilege level 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is again the problem, because if the users are inheriting the commands of the lower users, in such a scenario, you cannot distinguish. Let's suppose that you want to achieve something like this. Let's suppose there is a user called Jack. There is a user called John. Okay. You want this user should be able to run this command, configure terminal. This user should be able to run this command, router OSPF. Okay. And this user should be able to run this command, router config, interface. Okay. And some router rep. This user is assigned with, let's suppose, privilege level 3. This user is assigned with the privilege level 2. Now the problem is you cannot distinguish. By default, whatever commands you have allowed in the privilege level 2 will be carried in the privilege level 3. Okay. So basically with the privilege level, there are two problems. The first problem is that the privilege level never matches the argument part. It is only concerned with the command part. Is it clear? Second, by default, the privilege level follows the inheritance rule. That means the user which is assigned with a higher privilege level will by default or automatically will be able to run all the commands which you have assigned at the lower levels. Fine. And that's why we are able to see some kind of contradiction. I hope all of you are clear with the concept of privilege levels now.
Yes, please for me.